All right, Deborah, welcome to the channel.
Thank you.
Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Deborah Simmons. I've worked 48 years of my life, and I lost my job to COVID-19 in last July. And I never thought I'd have to beg on the street, but in order for me and my son to eat, that's what I have to do. But I've also applied to all of these places to try to get a job, and no one's calling me. I don't know if it's because of my age, but I'm going to be working, I know, until I'm in my 70s.
Yes, ma'am. So, tell me about growing up and where you're from originally.
Okay, I was born and raised here in Gainesville. Born in 1959 at AGH. It used to be called Alachua General Hospital. And then eventually Shands took it over, and then it was Shands at AGH. But that's where I was born and raised. And I have worked 20 years for the University of Florida, 12 years for Shands, 5 for the Department of Children and Families, and then 10 for Partnership for Strong Families. And we're the ones that oversee the foster kids in the 13 counties around here.
Wow. So how was it with your family? Did you have any siblings?
Yes, I had 2 sisters and a brother, but one of my sisters died in a car accident. So I have a brother and a sister, but it's really sad because when I became homeless, they just cut me off.
Wow. And are you the oldest?
Yeah, now I'm the oldest. My other sister that died, she was the oldest.
Yes, ma'am. So how did you end up homeless and in this situation?
Well, when I lost my job, it was in July of 2021. And I had enough money in my 401k and savings to where I could keep my apartment until February of 2022. And then I became homeless because I don't have a job. I want an apartment. And you know, people say, why don't you go to these places that have services? I've been, and it's the biggest runaround. They don't help you. The housing, they say you have to get on a waiting list. And when I call, they go, we're not taking names for the waiting list. And I go, well, when are you going to do that? You just have to call every week.
Wow.
So I've been doing that, calling every week, and I cannot get on the wait list for a house. So
how long have you been out here homeless in this situation?
Since, well, I didn't even start doing this. It was probably, let me think for a second, September of 2022.
September 2022, you've been homeless?
I've been homeless. I've been going out on the street to try to make money to get gas, food, and whatever else we might need.
So how do you survive out here from day to day?
It's hard. My son is the one that, you know, looks over me and protects me. If I was by myself, I think it would be a whole different situation. And if I actually had to live on the street, I don't think I could do that. I just don't. That's why I'm glad I have my car.
How old is your son?
My son is 23. He's in school. 23.
What is he in school for?
He's at Santa Fe.
Okay.
And then he's going to go to UF once he gets his AS degree. So, you know, he tries to help me when he can, but I want him to go to school, you know?
Yes, ma'am. So, you're basically just panhandling to survive
day to day. You know, and lately it's been bad. One day I made $2. One day I made $1. And what can you buy for $1? Nothing.
So I'm sure you've seen some crazy things being homeless and seen a lot of people that's maybe even in a worse situation than you.
Yeah, when I see that they actually have to live on the street. There was a young man that I met when I first started coming out here. And there's an area right by Kohl's, and he had his whole camping gear, and that's where he slept, and he would go out on the street, and then that's where he slept. And I used to say, I don't think I can do that. I just don't.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's sad because when I became homeless, my family and friends just disappeared. I have no one.
So your siblings and your friends, even your old coworkers, just act like you never existed when you became homeless.
Yeah, it's sad. Because I have compassion and empathy for people, and it's like I'm not getting the same thing, and I don't understand why.
What would you say is your toughest struggle being homeless?
Probably the summer when I have to stay in the car, and it's so hot because we can only crack the windows because we don't want to get mugged or whatever, and that's the hardest part, and that's why now I try to stay out there so I can get gas money to run my air conditioning, because we'll do that like every hour just so I can cool down.
How long were you standing out there today?
Well, I came out earlier today from 11 to 1, and only made $5. And then I tried to rest, and then I came back out here at 5:30.
So you working like a whole shift.
Yeah, and I really just want a job. That's all I want. I want a job. I don't want to panhandle. I just don't.
It's just right now it's not going fast as it should be.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
because I thought with my work record I would be hired, because wherever I've been there for years. I don't work somewhere, quit, and go somewhere else.
Right.
I've had like, years and years of experience, and I just can't seem to find anything.
So your job history isn't even helping with finding a job.
No, people aren't supposed to do age discrimination, but I have a feeling that's what I'm running into because I'm 64.
Okay.
And I think people are looking at me like, oh, she's not going to work very long, and that's not true,
And I've done a few of these interviews, met a lot of people, and from the looks of you and just talking to you, you don't seem like you do any drugs.
No, I don't drink. I don't do drugs. My brother started a rumor that we were on drugs. That's why I lost my job, and that's not right. It was COVID-19, so it's just sad. But yeah, we don't drink. We don't do anything.
Gotcha. And how about your parents? Are they still living? No, they passed.
Yeah.
Okay. And did you have your mom and dad growing up?
Yes. Well, I had my mother and a stepfather who wasn't very nice. So I was very close to my mother. They split up. And I took care of her the last 8 years of her life because she got emphysema. And it's sad because every day I always say, if my mother was alive, she would have never let me live on the street.
Yes,
never. And I'm sorry to get emotional, but this is very emotional for me.
No problem, ma'am. This is what the channel is for, being honest and, expressing how you feel being in the situation that you're in.
Yeah.
So right now you're living in your car and you're out here panhandling.
And I also apply for jobs when I can get to a resource center that has a computer. Because, I'll sit there and apply for jobs there and give them my phone number. But I have not gotten any calls back.
Did you go to college at all?
Yeah, I have my AS degree as a paralegal.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, I just have so much experience, and that's what I don't get.
Wow, that's crazy. Another thing I want to ask you is, how do you take showers and stuff like that being homeless?
We have a friend. It's actually my son's friend, and she has an apartment, and she lets us go there like every other day, and we shower, change clothes. I get Social Security once a month.
Yes, ma'am.
And then we do laundry, so I have clothes. And then when I get my Social Security, I try to stay in a hotel for 4 or 5 days because I just want to get out of the car and off the street.
Right. Right. So, do you have any advice or anything that you want to say to the viewers that's watching this video?
I just would like to say that I hope you guys are watching this and you think about caring about people and having empathy for people that are having a hard time. I don't want to be homeless. I never thought I would be. So just try to open up your hearts and be a little bit more compassionate. And it's just, that's my advice.
All right. Well, I want to thank you so much for doing this interview, ma'am, and taking the time out of your day. I wish you the best of luck with everything. So I really hope you get a job soon and get off the street.
If you ever are around here, come say hey to me.
I definitely will, ma'am.
Because that would be nice.
I definitely will. Once again, thank you so much, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Wish you the best of luck. Peace.
You're welcome.